Hello boaters. Well, about this time last year I bought myself a wildlife camera and I used it for about 4 months and I was really quite pleased with it. It was this one, which unfortunately broke after about 4 months of use. Still not quite sure why that happened. Big thank you to all the viewers who helped me out with some PayPal donations and it enabled me to buy a new one. In fact, I went a bit further than that because I was able to buy the GoPro and various other accessories, all with the intention of making the channel better and the video quality better. Unfortunately though, buying a replacement wildlife camera turned out to be a real headache. I must have just got lucky the first time round. There were two things that were absolutely essential in a wildlife camera for me. First was decent video quality, full HD. Wasn't expecting anything wonderful, but just decent would be okay for this sort of thing. But the most important thing was that these wildlife cameras, they illuminate the night with infrared LEDs, and there's two types they use in these wildlife cameras. You've got the low glow infrared and the no glow infrared, and there's a big difference. You can't see the light shining out from either type, but if you look directly at the camera when the LEDs are on in the dark, the low glow, you'll see the LEDs glowing faintly, a dull red colour, so you would actually be able to identify that there was a camera there. With the no glow, use a slightly different wavelength of infrared light. You look at that when it's working and you can't see anything at all. So that's the type I wanted, and it's essential because the camera's mounted in a fairly sort of public place looking out over the towpath. I didn't want people noticing it. The problem is that there's a huge variety of these wildlife cameras available online, and what I found was that there was a massive amount of errors and downright lies in the item's description. For example, I actually bought about 5 cameras and had to send them back because they weren't as described. Most of them said they had no glow LEDs, and they turned out to be actually visible LEDs that you could see. That was no good for me, so I had to go back. There's also a lot of them use this same case, you know, so it'll look identical, but actually the workings inside could be completely different. And I bought one which said it was full HD, and well, when I actually checked the footage of it, it did output a full HD file, you know, 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames a second, but the camera inside the unit was only a little VGA low resolution camera, and the output from that had been upscaled into the HD format, and it certainly wasn't an HD image. It was terrible. It was really bad. That had to go back. I was quite disappointed actually. Eventually I went back to the seller who sold me the original camera, and sure enough he had them for sale still, so I thought, well, I'll just buy another one from him, can't go wrong. And he sent me one and it was completely different. It didn't fit any of the description. That had to go back. So like I say, I had to buy about 5 before I actually finally got one that I'm reasonably happy with. So I ended up with the Campark T70, which has got no glow LEDs, and it claims to be full HD output. It does output a full HD file. It's not super clear. I don't think the quality is quite as good as my first camera, but it is usable. So I've been recording clips. So here we go with a collection of towpath wanderings of all strange creatures going by. Oh, one other thing is that in last year's video I did catch the occasional fleeting glimpse of a fox or a badger. So this year what I'm doing in the evening is that I'm just sprinkling a handful of cat biscuits on the towpath in front of the camera, and that just gets them to slow down a little bit, so we've got a bit more wildlife to see in these clips. So sit back and enjoy.